Welcome back to Daily AI News at Let's Data Science. It's 2026 701. Today, we're diving into some pivotal developments from the future of machine intelligence to major product launches. Let's get to it. Our top story is a massive signal about where AI infrastructure is headed. Samsung Electronics and SK Hynix have committed a combined 3,200 trillion won, or roughly $2.07 trillion in investment tied to South Korea's national semiconductor strategy. According to Reuters, the initiative includes an 800 trillion won semiconductor cluster and accelerated construction in the Yongin chip manufacturing region, with the government aiming to double the country's memory production capacity within 5 years. For AI practitioners, the most important detail is not simply the size of the announcement, it is the focus on high bandwidth memory, or HBM, one of the key constraints limiting large scale AI training and inference today. More memory capacity ultimately means the potential for larger GPU clusters and improved infrastructure availability. But there is an important timing consideration. Memory fabs take years to build and ramp into production, so organizations planning AI infrastructure should not expect immediate relief from today's supply constraints. Markets reacted quickly, with shares of equipment suppliers including ASML, KLA, Applied Materials, and Lam Research moving higher. At the same time, analysts cited by Reuters cautioned that today's aggressive expansion could create oversupply risks years down the road if hyperscaler demand slows. For engineering leaders, this reinforces that announced capital spending is a long-term planning signal rather than a near-term procurement solution. Another major development comes from the financing side of the AI ecosystem. Abu Dhabi's sovereign backed investment firm, MGX, has closed a $49 billion AI focused investment fund, exceeding its original $45 billion target. CNBC describes it as one of the largest dedicated AI investment vehicles ever assembled. The fund has already participated in some of the industry's largest financing rounds, including investments involving Anthropic, OpenAI, and xAI. CNBC reports MGX has backed 14 companies so far, while Newsbite says the firm plans to invest up to $10 billion annually under the leadership of Sheikh Tahnoon bin Zayed Al Nahyan. For builders of AI systems, this matters because frontier AI increasingly depends on enormous capital requirements for custom chips, data centers, networking, and model training. Large sovereign backed funds can reshape competition by providing the financial runway required for infrastructure projects that smaller investors simply cannot support. The result may be faster deployment of compute capacity, but it also increases the concentration of funding among a relatively small number of major AI developers and infrastructure providers. Our third top story centers on frontier model governance. Anthropic reports that the United States government is lifting export controls on Claude Fable 5 and Mythos 5 after an 18-day suspension. Commerce Secretary Howard Lutnick said his department worked closely with Anthropic to analyze and approve Fable 5 while ensuring alignment across the U.S. government. The episode established an important precedent. It is described as the first known instance of a commercially deployed frontier AI model being pulled back under export control authority because of concerns surrounding a reported jailbreak. While the exact technical or policy changes that satisfied regulators remain undisclosed, Anthropic says it has trained a new cybersecurity safety classifier that blocks the reported jailbreak technique in more than 99% of cases. The company also reported that similar vulnerability findings could be reproduced by multiple existing models, including GPT 5.5 and Claude Opus 4.8. Anthropic also says it is collaborating with Amazon, Microsoft, and Google on a shared framework for evaluating jailbreak severity. If adopted broadly, such a framework could influence how both governments and AI vendors classify future security findings, determine rollout strategies, and evaluate whether a reported capability represents a routine software issue or something requiring regulatory intervention. For organizations deploying frontier models, this is a reminder that compliance, staged access, and technical safeguards are becoming core parts of production AI operations. Now, for a few other key updates in our lightning round. Amazon Web Services is committing $1 billion to a new forward deployed engineering organization. Reuters and CNBC report the unit will eventually include thousands of engineers working directly with enterprise customers in roughly 45-day engagements. The initiative follows similar forward-deployed engineering efforts from OpenAI and Anthropic, reflecting growing demand for production AI integration rather than experimental prototypes. The Linux Foundation has launched Akrites, a coordinated security initiative designed to address AI-driven vulnerability discovery across open-source software. Founding members include Anthropic, AWS, Google, IBM, Microsoft, NVIDIA, OpenAI, Cisco, Citi, JP Morgan Chase, Ericsson, and Red Hat. The effort will establish a shared incident response capability and coordinated vulnerability disclosure process as AI systems dramatically increase the volume of discovered software flaws. Japan's Ministry of Economy, Trade and Industry has committed up to 1 trillion yen over 5 years to support the Noetra Physical AI Consortium, anchored by SoftBank, Sony, NEC, and Honda. Working alongside the National Institute of Advanced Industrial Science and Technology, or AST, the consortium plans to release its first foundation model this fiscal year, while pursuing a long-term goal of deploying 10 million AI-equipped robots across 18 sectors by 2040. Anthropic is also rolling out Claude Sonnet 5 alongside the restoration of Fable 5. The company positions Sonnet 5 as a lower-cost model with capabilities approaching Claude Opus 4.8, offering developers another option for balancing performance and inference cost, while broader access to Fable 5 resumes. In energy infrastructure, KKR and SK Inc. are launching a renewable energy platform valued at approximately 2 trillion won, or $1.3 billion. The venture begins with 1.7 gigawatts of operating capacity and targets a 10 gigawatt development pipeline, a scale Reuters says could eventually support the power needs of around 100 large 100 megawatt data centers, highlighting how electricity supply is becoming as strategically important as compute itself. Finally, CIA Director John Ratcliffe described cutting-edge AI capabilities as being akin to digital nuclear weapons during remarks at the AWS Summit. The comments reflect increasing national security attention on frontier AI and arrive alongside recent export control actions affecting advanced model deployment and access. And that's your AI briefing for today. The landscape is moving faster than ever, and we'll be here to track it with you. For more insights, visit us at letsdatascience.com. Thanks for tuning in, stay curious, and we'll be back tomorrow with the latest in AI.